Mr. H. Good morning. Hey, I wanted to do a quick video on factoring out GCFs. That's just one of the topics that I see a lot of students kind of struggle with, so I wanted to make a video on that. So that's what this video will be about. Let me start by just labeling it. Factoring out GCF. All right, so now over here I have a bunch of polynomials and I'm going to focus on this one. So I'm going to write that down, and let me use a different color. This is going to be 63m to the 6th power minus 49m to the 5th power minus 21m. All right, so now I'm going to rewrite it down here because I need some space for my trees. I'm going to use factor trees to factor this out. So now, first thing, I'm going to start here. Now, if you know your rules of divisibility, these trees are really useful, okay? So if you don't know the rules of divisibility, that's one thing I would always stress for every student that I work with, because it helps so much when you're trying to factor. All right, so first thing, I know this number is not divisible by 2 because it doesn't end in an even number. It is divisible by 3 because if you add 6 plus 3, that's going to be 9, and 9 is divisible by 3, so this number must be. So this is going to be 3 times 21, and then I can factor 3 times 7. Okay, and then I put my multiplication in between. I'm also going to factor the variable. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so let me move this over just a little bit. Move it over. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to factor this piece as well. Whenever there's a negative, I like to factor that out right away. And then I have, this is going to be 7 times 7. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the variable. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's completely factored. And let me move this over a little bit as well so we don't have any cross pollination of the trees. All right, so let's see. Take the factor out the -1. Then I've got 3 and I've got 7. Put my multiplication symbols in between, and we got our m. Now, once I've factored every term, I just look to see the greatest number of factors that are in common. And each one of these trees has a 7. And each one of these trees has an m. So that's what they have in common. That's the greatest number of factors. So I come down here, and I'm going to write that. I'm going to make this a little. So this is going to be 7m. I put my parentheses. Now, whenever someone tells you to factor, basically what they're saying is, I want you to take this expression and I want you to put in parentheses. There may be something out front of the parentheses, there may be 2 parentheses, or maybe 3 parentheses, but they want you to take the expression and put it in parentheses. That's what it means to factor. Okay, so now here's the thing that I like to do, especially with this tool. I like to go and anything that I factored out, I remove from the tree. It's like if you have an apple tree and you go pick the apple, it's no longer on the tree, right? So I'm taking these factors off my tree. I factor them out, so they're no longer on my tree. So I factor them out. And now they're gone. Or almost gone. Let me get this one off. All right, so they've been factored off my trees. Now, whatever remains is what goes inside the parentheses. So this is 3 times 3, and we got 5m. So this is going to be 9m to the 5th. Oh, wow. My m. That m. M to the 5th. And then I'm going to have a -1 times 7, and there's 4m. So that's going to be a negative or minus 7m to the 4th. And then I just have a -3 over here, so I just put a -3. Now, one last thing to kind of clean this up, I'm going to take my parentheses and move it over a little closer. Now it's been factored completely. I factored out the GCF. Whatever remained goes inside the parentheses. All right, guys, that's it.